Welcome to Around the World on 8 Plates. In this series, we're going to visit different countries and introduce these countries to you by providing information regarding itinerary. We're also going to teach you how to cook signature dishes from these countries and interview locals from these countries so that you can have a better understanding of what these countries are all about. So join me, your host Jojo Tang, as we go around the world on 8 Plates. Presented to you by National Taiwan Normal University Common Core Education Committee Foreign Language Education Division. So far this season, we have traveled to the following countries: Latvia, Kenya, the Seychelles, Bahrain, Thailand, Kiribati, and the USA. For the last country, we are going to another place. Which country is it? Here is a clue for you. Hello everyone, welcome once again to Around the World on 8 Plates. Today we're going to a new country. Let me introduce the country by presenting the honey monologue. So we went on a romantic dinner once, and my friend asks, "Did you light a candle?" "You lit one, yeah?" "You lit one, yeah." That sounds like the name of a country. Which country is it? Today, we are going to the country of 3, 2, 1. Let's say welcome to Lithuania, or as the locals say, Sveiki atvykę į Lietuvą, as we once again circumnavigate the world. Whether you travel on land or by air, chances are you will first spend time in Vilnius, Lithuania's capital city. When you walk around the city, you will feel that it is both new and old. And there are so many things to do and see in the city. Even without visiting any tourist sites, you can just enjoy the colorful streets and the cool-looking buildings. So what's the itinerary for day 1? On day 1, make sure you go to Cathedral Square, where everything is close to each other and interesting to explore. So behind me is the bell tower of the Cathedral of Vilnius. Now let's take a few seconds to take a look at the pictures that I took at Cathedral Square. Also, there are many churches in Vilnius. But what is so special about these churches? Well, the thing that is special is that some of them are Catholic churches, whereas others are Orthodox churches. It's history time as we learn more about how these two churches are different. First, we're talking about the Pope. So for Catholics, the Pope is a descendant of God and can make no errors. So every doctrine that the Pope declares is correct and error-free. However, for the people from the Orthodox Church, they believe that Pope is just like any one of us. Sometimes they make mistakes, sometimes they don't. So the second difference between Catholic churches and Orthodox churches is the location. So those who believe in the Orthodox Church, they usually live in the eastern part of Europe, so like Russia, Greece, places like that. So those who believe in the Catholic Church, they usually live on the west side. So for example, countries are like Ireland, Italy, Spain, these places. There are more people who believe in the Catholic Church in those places. The third difference is celibacy. Those who work in the Catholic Church, they cannot take married, they cannot have sex. But those in the Orthodox Church, most of them, they're married and they can have their own family. Now that we know what the differences are, let's take a look at both churches. First, let's go to the Catholic Church. I was using Google Maps to look for St. Anne's Church, the place where we're going. And then after like a minute or two, I decided not to use it because I think it's kind of obvious which one it is. Alright, so I'll show it to you and then tell me which one you think St. Anne's Church is. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Alright, So, in every Catholic church, many people will go inside, they'll just take pictures, look at the candles, look at the stained glass windows, look at the architecture, and leave. When in fact, every Catholic church has this, and it's the 15 stations of the cross. So I'll show the 15 stations of the cross of this Catholic church later. As mentioned before, every Catholic church has the 15 stations of the cross. So in this church, this is station number 6. And the story behind station number 6 is there's a woman, her name's Veronica, and while Jesus was carrying the cross, she felt so much pity, so much compassion for him, that what she did was she took out a piece of maybe cloth or handkerchief and she wiped it on Jesus' face. So this story tells us that we should always look at the suffering of people and try to be compassionate. So we don't just look at the big picture. We don't just think of how we can solve big problems, but we can also express our kindness, show kindness to everyone in our everyday lives, right? So every station of the cross in the church has a story and has a lesson. Now let's take a few seconds to really enjoy what the inside of the church has to offer. And now for the Orthodox Church. Okay, we are at an Orthodox church, and I'm going to go inside later. Now, walking around Vilnius can certainly make a tourist like me go hungry. So what can you eat on day 1? For lunch, I decided to go for Lithuanian food. There are many restaurants in the city center near the Cathedral Square where you can find Lithuanian food. Now look at this pink soup. What do you think it's made of? We'll find out in today's video recipe. One thing is for sure, they didn't use the blood from a bird to make this wonderful soup. To be honest, when I went to Vilnius, I did not get to do much because the NATO summit of 2023 was being held in the city. Alright, so one good thing about the NATO summit being here in Vilnius is no tourists. So if you look at that, I'm in the center of the town and there's basically no one here. I mean, in the background there are 2 people, but nobody's here. The lack of tourists is because you get to be in the same city as some important people. Other than having the chance to see presidents of a country, hello, President of Ukraine, Super Small Zelensky. there are other things to see. Before exploring these other things, an interesting thing happened to me as I was going back to my apartment in Vilnius. On the way back, the bus suddenly stopped. After 5 minutes, all the people in the bus were asked to get off, and everybody was crowded on the street. Why did this happen?
Okay, the roads have been closed and I think something's about to happen. See that? Nobody can cross. Exciting.
The correct answer is letter C. In fact, we had to wait for 30 minutes for President Biden's motorcade to pass.
Here they come. Biden.
Did you count how many cars just passed by for one person? We can then say that the people working for NATO are all very conscientious because they pay a lot of attention to every detail, especially details that are safety-based. These safety-based measures include making sure there are helicopters flying over the city, having tanks on standby near important meeting venues, making sure reporters have a safe working environment, and stationing policemen with guard dogs all over the city.
So as you can see, because of the NATO summit, security is pretty tight around here. You see the cops behind me? Whoop, there.
Why are they so serious? Why is NATO so important? It is geography time as we learn more about this organization. What is it? And why is it so important to host a summit? NATO stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and it is made up of 32 countries.
So let's name the flags. Croatia, Latvia. It's being covered. The next one is being covered. So let's go to the next one. Luxembourg, Netherlands. The next one is all tied up. And then we have Portugal, France, and then Romania. And then the next one is also all tied up. Then you have Slovenia, France, North Macedonia. Then I'm guessing it's Turkey, Canada, Montenegro, UK, USA, Italy, Spain, Iceland, Greece, Estonia, Denmark, Czechia, Bulgaria, Belgium, Albania, and the host, Lithuania.
The main objective of NATO is to make sure everybody enjoys freedom and put more emphasis on peace by building a solid foundation through politics and military cooperation. To do this, they hold meetings or summits regularly, discuss with other member countries what to do, and maintain peace by crisis prevention.
Okay, I'm not allowed inside, but basically the theme for this year's summit is how to cooperate a lot, how to cooperate so that we can defend against enemies.
Now let's go back to the itinerary. For day 2, take the train and get out of Vilnius, and you can visit a castle that is very near a lake, and it is called Trakai Island Castle. So how do you get there? First, go to the main train station of Vilnius, and then you can take a train going to Trakai Island Castle.
Okay, so for the second day of the trip.
Wait a minute, let's rewind a little. Before going to Laketrakai, make sure when you go to the Vilnius train station to look at the portal. It is connected to the city in Poland. Now let's go back to the train. Just like what I mentioned before, take the train from Vilnius to Trakai. From the train station, take a taxi to Trakai Island Castle.
Alright, so we're in the Baltic right now and we're on our way to Trakai Island Castle. It's around 15 minutes from the train station. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have seen lakes. You guys have also seen castles.
But have you ever seen a castle on a lake?
Okay, a few interesting things about this castle over here. Well, number one, it's made of stone. So can you imagine carrying all the heavy stone building this? Number two, it was built in the 15th century, so 1409, something like that. And number three, it became a very important place for the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. So that meant that in the past there were lots of official meetings, lots of parties held here. So now it's a tourist attraction, but you can still feel the importance of this place.
So what are the things you can do at Lake Trakai? First, for an entrance fee of €6, you can go inside the castle and explore it. And then there are also some water activities that many people enjoy. You can do that too. And finally, you can just find a place to relax or have a picnic. Here are some of the photos we took over there. Now for food, there are many great burger joints in Vilnius. Now let's go to day 3. What would be a good itinerary for the third day of your trip? If you like water sports, camping, and just the beach, you should go to Baltic camping area.
Right, because of the NATO summit, I'm avoiding this city, so I'm going somewhere out of town. Let's go. Okay guys, we have arrived at the main beach, but this is not where we're going, so you need to know where we're going. I'll show you where we're going later. Okay guys, it's time for us to head to the beach, but before we get there are two things I would like to remind you of. The first, what did I step on? Anyway, the first thing is, when you carry your bag, it's important that you carry it in front so that nobody's going to steal anything from you. And then another thing is, when you get to this beach, don't go to the main beach because there are a lot of people there. So you walk a bit further, like what I'm doing right now. You walk into the forest, and then you'll see the more secluded beach so that you have more privacy. Okay, so the good thing about this beach is there's nobody here. So it's around 7 p.m. right now, and there's nobody here. Like, check it out. There's nobody. Absolutely no one. I mean, it's kind of scary to come here, but it's also nice to, just be alone, enjoy the afternoon or the night, and just, do nothing and, enjoy nature.
Another reason why I decided to come here was because
so the good thing about coming to this part of the world is in July, August, during the summer months, the sun doesn't set until like 9 or 10 p.m. So right now it's about 8 p.m. and the sun is still shining.
So I think it is really easy to promote tourism in Lithuania to tourists, to customers and clients. It's because the sun sets very late in the summer. To conclude, Lithuania is truly a magical place. It's magical because there are just so many things to do and see. Oh, and one more thing.
Okay, so in other countries, when you sneeze, when you go achoo, people will say bless you, but here people will not say bless you. People here will say you're welcome, because in this country, achoo means thank you.
So achu for watching this video. To learn more about this wonderful country, let's go to the next part of the video, the country postcard. To learn more, read this country profile in the form of a postcard. We've learned all about the country. It's time to start cooking. Today, we're going to prepare salty bershari, or cold beetroot soup, a very popular dish in Lithuania. Here is a list of ingredients. You'll need 2 beetroots, 3 eggs, 2 small cucumbers, some shallots, some yogurt, buttermilk, mint, salt, and dill. Okay, now for step 1, in a pot of boiling water, boil some eggs and cook for 15 minutes. After that, rinse in cold water so that you can peel off the eggshells. And then, after that, you chop the eggs and then you're ready for the next step. For step 2, chop some cucumbers and chop some beetroot. After that, put the sliced cucumber and beetroot into a bowl and add the other ingredients such as buttermilk, yogurt, and mint. Now step 3, season with salt and add some dill if that's available. For step 4, add the eggs and chill everything in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. And there you have it, the recipe for today's wonderful Lithuanian soup. Now, in case you need it, here is a written recipe for today's signature dish. For the next part of today's video, you're going to listen to an interview with a local. Now let's go to the final part of today's video by welcoming our special guest for today to talk about this country even more.
All right, so if you could invite Biden to anywhere in Vilnius, where would you take him?
Well, I'd probably go to with him to the old town, like grab a beer or two or something.
What about Zelensky?
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, Zelensky would be a quite appreciated guest here, so I would probably go for a beer or free rather.
Well, this ends or concludes season 5 of the video. Where are we going next? Stay tuned as we once again travel the world, learn about the culture of another country, and go around the world on 8 plates.